Right. Do we want the lighting like this, or do we want the lighting more? I wish you were here to tell me, but it's okay. So between this and this, maybe this is more cool because it's an overcast day in Johannesburg, South Africa today. It's overcast weatherically and it's overcast emotionally. So, MAMIYA Mondays is actually... Wait, I need to get all my things right. See, this thing is making me realize that she has my problems. That's what I hate about MAMIYA Mondays, because it's consistent, and then I'm gonna see my freaking schizophrenia. Oh, must be careful there not to show you my Bible. Gosh. Because last time you guys got my video removed for nudity. So I really have to. That's why I'm fully dressed in a t-shirt today. To show YouTube that I respect you, YouTube. I'm not going to be nude anymore and say it's part of my culture. Because I sent an appeal. I sent them an appeal. When they removed my content, I said it's my culture. Like, boobs are not a big thing in my culture. And it's true. Boobs are not a thing in our culture. But in white culture, they are a thing. And YouTube is a white people's platform. So now we have to go according to their rules. But really, if it were up to me, I thought it was just rubbish. And I just think that boobs are just boobs. Boobs are a takeaway store. They are a food place. You understand? It's where people eat. Let me tell the other children to come through. So why I was saying that I hate MAMIYA Mondays is because they keep track of my emotional health. And remember, there was that day when I just did not go on. I was like, I'll see you guys at 3. And today, if I did not have a flyer that says 10 o'clock every Monday, I would have put out a notice to say, I'll see you guys at 3. It's not one of my best days today. You know, in South Africa, we always say, when you say you're going through something, you say, uyagowisha. So I'm goishing. I'm heartbroken. I'm traumatized. I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I'm feeling helpless, So that's how I'm feeling this morning. I'm just telling the other children to come through. Because, it's a safe space, right? It's a space where we can just tell each other the truth, right, guys? Right? It's just not my mood today matches the weather in Johannesburg today. We are well aligned. And if it wasn't for MAMIYA Mondays, I would be in my bed like this. Going If it wasn't for MAMIYA Mondays, but here we are. We are here to just represent. And, I always find that everything happens for a reason, right? So maybe this is the kind of energy that I needed for today's topics. And today's video is especially important for artists and creatives and actors and musicians and people who create content. So what's happening is that in the past, right, the white system used to just freely exploit artists It was very easy to exploit artists. You know, we often talk about the music contracts that we get into. I must check your comment section, by the way. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm going to keep checking if you guys are talkings there. So, about the contracts in the music industry. They're exploitative. They've always been, yeah, it's just, you know, if it's like if a grown up if let's say a grown up, and then there's a child, a 5-year-old child, who's got sweets, and the grown up wants the sweets. And the grown up has got the intellect and the maturity to know what they're doing. And then they go to the child, oh, okay, no, just let me borrow these for you, and takes 4 of them and leaves the child with 1. And it's like, no, you know, it's cool, it's like that, you know, this is how it works, you know. So a lot of the creative industry, even in film and TV and in music, has been that kind of relationship, you know, where, you know, we sign these contracts because gahle we're children in that setup, in that music industry, in that creative industry setup. We don't have the big lawyers. We don't have these big corporations. So these big corporations and these big lawyers are coming to us vulnerable artists who just want to do our art. And we are signing these contracts that are wrong. And just because we sign the contracts, it doesn't make it then legal or lawful or right. If something is wrong, it's wrong. And if somebody is acting in an exploitative way, then it means we have to tackle the industry from a fundamental and base level to start all over again, you know. We've always had this creative industry that has got no rules and people just do as they please, especially people with capital. So let's say me, like I was so taken aback that time when Maporisa said that if you record in his studio, then he owns everything. And how does that make sense to you guys? Like, even when you're listening as an outsider, how does it make sense that if I and Ziggy Mazwa goes to Porisa's studio and he records, he's saying that my work belongs to him? So it means that there's no rules in place that say, okay, here is what the record label is entitled to. Here is what the producer is entitled to. Here's what the vocalist is entitled to. There's no set rules, and there should be set rules, even in TV. We break it down, Guti, here's what this one is entitled to, and this is a standard across the board. It's not a thing where people negotiate, and they negotiate for themselves, because you saw how that played out. Even in that situation with like generations where some people get paid more than others, which is rubbish for the same job. It's rubbish. So we need industry standards and minimum wages. This thing where it gets left up to production to decide what they deserve and what the artists deserve. The thing is that without the artist and what the artist brings, there is no other thing to hold up. So we can have as many publishing houses or collecting societies or record labels, but in the absence of musicians and the creatives, then those businesses, they've got no reason to exist. So there's a big conversation that needs to be had in regards to intellectual property. The problem is that in the past, it was white people in these production positions and white people that had the capital. So white people generally didn't consider black people as human beings even. We were just these things that will sing the song and perform and get them paid. So they'll get our work, then they'll take 80% of it, and then they'll give us 20% and say, yeah, no, I set you up, right? So in the past, that was always going on and it was cool. But now we got to the age of social media and internet. And that age gave creatives, especially musicians, more power in terms of controlling their own art. So suddenly we didn't really need record labels anymore, and we didn't need a middleman because we could interface with our audience face to face now and control our own bookings and control. We could make our music at home and then give it straight to the audience, you know. So that what that did was that it took away a lot of money from the music companies, record labels. If you remember Gallo shutting down and downgrading and stuff, if you're in the industry, that was a direct result of what the internet, the impact that the internet had on artists, and that artists could now cut out the middleman and get to their money themselves without these other people that like to involve themselves in our bags. So that happened, right? And then when the man had lost a lot of money from the artist, because the artist is now going direct, now comes up this copyright amendment bill where they've got to amend things. And basically what this amendment bill is going to do for artists, guys, it means that someone can take my work and go commercialize it and not pay me. It means that the creative input that creatives are going to put out now, they're kind of just public domain stuff now, and anyone can use them. So that's the bill that the government is about to sign, because the powers that be realized, Uguti, hey, we're losing money. So now how do we do it so that we can actually just take the creatives' work without having to pay them? So we're in a situation right now. Let me look at your comments because I see you're talking, and as I told you, I don't have my glasses on. So I have to look on my other phone. Let me see this live. I'm trying to find, here we go. Here you go. So I'm just really stressed, you know? Where is that? Okay, wait, let me put down the volume. So also Godre is saying, so if the artist has direct access, why do we need minimum wage? Because the artists can't do everything themselves. It's a lot of work. So we do need management. We do need people to manage our recording processes and our publishing processes. But those people at the moment are exploiting the situation. Yeah, understand? So we need laws that come in that say publishing can only take 10%. Record labels can only take 10% of an artist's work. It needs to be a law that's like that. Because right now, nobody's keeping a watch on Samro or Sheer Publishing or Sony Pub. Nobody's keeping on. There's no ombudsman that looks out at collecting societies. And as a result, there's a case at Samro right now, and I'm surprised that we're not hearing police cases or legal things going on, but Samro collects monies from the broadcasters and from retailers and collects artist monies and collects it. But what's happening is that they're not distributing it. So now they've created this thing called Samro, where in Samro, everybody who works for Samro gets monthly salaries, gets medical aids, gets annuities, retirement annuities, but the artists for which they are collecting the money for, we're not getting the money. It's not reaching us. So there is no body, there is no governing body that's looking after artists. The collecting societies are just collecting, and then they've created offices, and in those offices, people are employed with our money. And then we're not getting the money. They're not distributing the money. And there's nothing that's being done. Do you understand? Right now at Samro, they lost millions and millions of rands in Dubai. There's a case of Samro Dubai, Samro Gate. I don't understand why it's not in the media. I don't understand why there isn't a big hoo-ha, because executives at Samro took millions, guys, and it was artists' money. Not only that, they found other record labels, executives, these white people that used to run black artists, People have been putting invoices into SAMRO for works that isn't theirs, and they're not arrested, guys. There are situations where actors, where generations has been playing, generations have been playing in Jamaica for like over 20 years. But the actors are not getting the money, guys. It's the white people and the one chosen black of them, Mfundi Mbudlas, do you understand? Of the Pumla Hopas, the black faces are the ones who are getting that money. But the actual artists who are performing in the thing are not getting their royalties, guys. So there's a crisis in South Africa. The creative industry is a crime scene. Good morning, Olwetu. Cosmic Sunflower saying it's honestly it's unfair basically for people to negotiate for themselves. It's not fair. It means that Tines Kulmi English Gashle, who can fight for ourselves, are going to get paid more than the people abang Kulmi English. That's all it means. It's not fair. We need rules in the creative industry. Let me see. Is the industry monopolized? What kind of a question is that? It is absolutely monopolized. Absolutely. Like, even the summers, I don't take this shit seriously anymore. I sound out of the music industry ages ago because I was like, oh, this is rubbish. The summers are run by record label executives. So they've got this clique of the bosses from the major record labels who are connected with the people from Riser. All the executives basically are like a mafia, and they're feeding off artists and musicians. And this is just me putting it brutally, okay? I'm sorry, I'd love to find ways to put it nicely, but they are like literally a mafia that is exploiting the fact that the creative industry has got no rules. So the SAMAs, these record label executives and this group that chooses themselves, they all submit all the artists from their record companies and then they award themselves. Which is why when you look through the award winners at the SAMAs, it's always artists that are belonging to a record label or their independent label is licensed to a major label. So do you see the Makaporosh we're working with? Which is why you'll find that you'll have somebody really talented on the side, but the one who's just kind of mediocre is the one winning the awards. So the industry is completely captured. Also, the major record labels, I must put it out to you, is that their memo is to actually sell international music. So the local artists are kind of secondary, which explains why we would get more American music on radio. Which brings me to, remember that time we had Cloudy fighting for 90% music? In that time, we got paid, guys. We got paid, I won't lie to you. We were getting our royalties. Musicians were happy in that time. And it was a 2 weeks, it was like a 1 month thing. It didn't last for long. Do you know why it didn't last for long? Apparently, the powers that be in America were like, what the fuck? Our money. Because remember all that money, remember when I'm saying we got paid in that time? All that money usually goes to America, to American artists, to the white companies that own the black American artists. So when we were saying 90% music, it really wasn't about South Africans not wanting it. No, South Africans adapted, they were fine. The issue is that how it got changed is that Umlung made the relevant calls at SABC and to the music companies and was like, cut, revert back. So there's definitely a monopoly. There should be rules also in terms of the national broadcaster. It should be a quotas. It should be Shouldn't be a choice, this 90% thing. We're in South Africa. In America, they're not playing South African music. In Europe, they're not playing South African music. So where must they play South African music? Okay. The guard is saying, H, please educate me. Here, if your song is played in the radio station in South Africa and they're international, how is that tracked around? Okay, so our publishers have got, because all the songs have got a specific number. We get, every single song has got a number. So every time the my IT things pick up that number, it picks up that your song's been played, So there are some, like Samro looks after the territory of South Africa, and I think like Namibia or surrounding countries also. You would have to sign with other international publishers and collecting societies if you wanted to collect your royalties in other countries. But I mean, our music doesn't really play in other countries, just a little bit. So that's why it's so important for the government to be protecting our intellectual property, you know? It's not fair that artists and musicians are dying broke when we work so hard. You know, you guys are partying every single weekend. You're partying to our music. You guys are going to festivals. It's us on stage. You guys, when you're driving to the car, driving to work and playing music, that's our work. So musicians are working. It's not that we're lazy. It's just that we have an industry and a system that doesn't work. Much like how the system doesn't work for black people and how apartheid has maneuvered around economics, it shows a lot in music because that is our culture and that's where black things would be, right? Because music is our strength. You know, things like other industries are protected because abelunga, then they're going to protect their interests. But because the music industry is heavily and the creative industry is heavily reliant on black talent, it's not protected. It's heavily exploited. So, our handlers also in charge of managing social media platforms of our artists. Some of them do, guys. Some of these, you know, artists are really vulnerable because you're gifted in a certain way. And the people who are gifted in this way exploit the way that you're gifted, but they don't want to, they exploit it, that's the word. So we're always going to churn out. We're always going to be creatives, guys. It's our nature. And it's not our nature to have brains that think of numbers and that think of managing this thing. Our talent is the thing. Your talent is the numbers and the managing of this thing. And you don't have this thing. So how do we find our way in the middle where we can both benefit from my thing without you? You know what I'm saying? So that's why artists are dying broke. That's why artists are depressed. We never spoke about it, but I would double HP, number pro. That was depression. They died from depression. It's not anything more. It's about the system that you can't operate in. So we need an artist in Bizo. We need to sit down and say, guys, this is what we're going through. And you guys keep thinking we're rich. We're not rich, guys. The promoters are paying for everything, you know? When you get invited to Mozambique, you're not paying for your accommodation. You're not paying for your food. So when we're posting there, I'm in Kokaikai, don't be misled. Hey, the artists are rich. We're not rich. We went to that gig with an empty fridge. Hey, nyang stress as. Yes, Olwetu, this is what Zahara was talking about. Ugutu, there's rules in the industry. There's no rules in the music industry. And people are exploiting. And people with more economic power are winning. Because Tina Askoni afforda, guys. So it's wild. Gosh, I've been speaking about this topic for 25 minutes, but it's like really, it's a lot. It's a lot to go through. It's not okay. It's not okay. And I don't know who I'm supposed to reach out to, or, I don't know if I'm supposed to make dramas again. I must do the Nzikima's White dramas. I'm just like, how do we bring attention to the fact that the creative industry and this copyright amendment bill where they want to exploit us further, that's being pushed by white people and their need to exploit black artists. Guys, that's why I'm slowly pulling myself out of the creative industry. Yes, Mellow Ashes, we did talk about the ISRC code. I did explain to them, I think you've just walked into the room, that every song has got a code. Let me see. That's why Ye called for the reviewing of artist contracts. Yes. And speaking of him, actually, speaking of which, do you know that in that contract, remember that Adidas contract that he made? Then they fell out. Do you know that Adidas is now continuing to sell his likeness, his image, and he's not protected because he's just a lone artist, is a lone voice against this big corporate called Adidas, this multinational. So do you see what I mean when I'm saying that, yo? Hey, that's why I don't want endorsements. I don't want any of this stuff, actually. I'm just going to build my things slowly, bit by bit. The God saying create a space to be a divided space. It's divided and it's ignorant, people don't know what the fuck's going on because there are no rules, because everyone does what they feel like doing, and people get exploited and they think it's normal and nobody gets arrested. There's never been a single white collar arrest in the creative industry, and it is due. If the Hawks or the Scorpions or whoever's alive now can just go there by Samru, can just go there by the publishing houses, can just do the artist a favor, can the Hawks just start investigating? Because there are a lot of arrests that need to be made in the music industry. And we've been quiet for ages, and we see them in the streets. And some of them are black. And some of them, because we see them and they know we see them, they're now starting narratives to tell people that Nziki Mazwai is paid by Jews to take black people down. There's a narrative like that from one of these industry sharks. Because I'm like, you. Let me check your thingies. Anthony, good morning. Peace and blessings, dear sister. Abibi Fawodi, Abibi Tumi. Peace to all African people. I hope my pronunciation was good. Abibi Fawodi. So now let's go on to another topic, because it's just that it's such a dark, I just don't know what to do with it. It's just, I get so stressed about it, and I'm seeing everybody getting robbed. I'm seeing artists going into the same cycle every time and dying broke and being exploited and getting into substances, And I'm just like, no, but guys, the ground is fertile for this depressions and stuff, because you're cheating the artists. You're cheating the artists. So, shall we talk about that newsroom panel that I was put on? Shall we? Once again, I apologize for my energy not being I'm having a hard day today, and I'm gonna go and just rest it off. So Newsroom calls me last week, And they're like, oh, Ntikib, you know, we'd love to have you. It's Human Rights Month. And we find you inspiring. You know, you've always talked about the rights of other human beings. And yeah, bang shy man, ngama compliments. But can you just come in for a 10-minute interview? We want to talk about human rights. So I'm like, ish, they've played into my ego nicely. And I'm like, yeah, man, ish. I've stood up for human rights. Yes, you're right. Ish, yes. Tiki way too. Then I arrived there, you know. And I can see their pictures. And you know, there are things that there's signs that you pick up. Especially if you are a me. You listen, I can see an energy that's kind of scattered in the way they're dealing with me. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. It's like that, ne? No one's like, hi, Ntiki, well, thank you for coming through. We're going to do this. I can just see there's a rush thing. Then I can see Somizi's child is also there and she's also in makeup, getting her makeup done. Then they're saying, no, the other guest. They keep saying the other guest is in the guest room. Then Ning I hear Lasizwe's name, but ang hlanganisi, you know, because I'm just like, okay, because I mean, really. Then when it gets close to the time, I realize that there's a talk of me being on TV on a panel with these children. Then I call the producer, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, this is not happening. I'm not going to sit and talk human rights with Lasizwe and Somizi's child. It just doesn't make economic sense. Then I call this lady who called me. I'm like, Yinle. No, oh, we're so sorry. Oh, we didn't say. Oh, you know, and you're so important to us. We thought that we'd bring you in as the anchor. You know, you are the anchor. And I can see as she's saying this to me, she thinks I'm going to be impressed by me being the anchor. Because my ego just is so, it's going to be moved by the fact that you're the anchor. So when she leaves, I'm like, Ntikimas, why are you staying here? What are you going to do? Then I go, okay, Ntikimas, why? The media is not promoting Moya. South Africa doesn't actually know about Moya. Only your audience and a small part of your audience knows about Moya, and it's the social media. So there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people, tens of thousands of people that don't know Moya exists. They haven't seen you in mainstream in a while, and they don't know where you are actually. Then I was like, okay, Ntix, it's time to remove your emotions and push your podcast. Then in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to plug Moya in this thing. That's what I'm going in there for. Hi, you guys saw the interview. And those who have not seen it, I'll try to put a link there. But if you just put newsroom, first of all, they were trying to diminish me. And you know, I think I confuse people because I can get on lives like this in my pajamas and my t-shirts, and I can be in my color minds, and I can just be so damn normal. But it does not mean that I'm not aware of the power I hold. It doesn't. And the fact that I do things like this where I'm just very, 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 very much normal is deliberate. Because I know what I hold, and I know what I've been called for on this planet. And I know that I can shake up this country. And I know that jiggy, if I just do a jiggy one time, I can scare the white people in this country. Just in J, I can just use my words one day and put out a video and jiggy things. I'm aware of things like that. So I'm aware when the white people are trying to see where Nziki's headspace is at. I'm aware. These white media houses, I'm aware that they are aware of me. We are all aware of each other. So you guys on the grind might not be aware. You might just be watching and thinking, but no, it's political, guys. South Africa is a political mind bomb field. And the whites know who the troublemaker blacks are. The whites know who to bring on. The whites curate us, guys. The entertainment industry is curated by Abelungu. That's why you'll find a certain type of industry players on certain type of platforms. That's why they called Elasizwe one of the ones that they're grooming. It is curated, this thing, guys, by these people. And they use these young black producers who don't get it. Who are just like, okay, yeah, why don't we get Nziki's transfer sister, Lasizwe's Kanye's sister, Bahumi Somizi's child. You know, they're still operating on that. But the white powers that be, they know who they're bringing to the table, guys. So when they put a Nziki Mazwai with children and they position me like that, they know that when they put me with social media influencers, the audience is going to position me into some idiot and not position me with the political leaders that you should be positioning me with. It's very deliberate, right? So then I've got this host, Imani Rapeti, who is also kind of a white construct, you know? And she's kind of the gatekeeper in that interview to make sure that Nziki don't say too much. But yeah, we've set you up here. Which is why she can be offensive to me during the interview. After you've called me out of my own bed, using my own petrol, using my own brains, using my own mouth to come give content to your show, you're going to insult me during the interview. Because it wasn't necessary for her to tell me that people hate me and people find me irritating. That was the white man speaking in her earpiece to antagonize Nziki so that they can get some drama, right? So that we can continue creating this image of Nziki looking like she's crazy and stupid and just an influencer. That's kind of what the strategy was, right? It was kind of clever, you know? But the problem is that I got there and I saw through it. Then I was like, okay, how do I transmute all this energy that they've just tried to set me up with? Then from question 1, I know good, okay, I'm here, this human rights dialogue, because if you notice in that interview, she was steering away from human rights. She was now trying to be clever. Then I was like, no, sweetie, I'm Nziki Mazwai. I'm going to be here. I'm going to talk about Sharpeville Day. I'm going to talk about the land. I'm going to talk about the economy. You can attack me all you want and tell me people hate me. You can have this little boy next to me who is, instead of answering your questions, keeps directing all his answers at me, which is so strange for me. But I just ignored that because this little boy has also always been on social media in Gezel. So in my life, this little boy doesn't even exist. I just had to keep my eye on the prize. I've never had blinkers on like I had that day, where I was like, Nziki, you're going to ignore everything everybody's saying. This host is antagonizing you, as you can see. When I talk about the social ills, and then somewhere in there, I was like, which is exactly what I'm doing with my podcast, Moya, on YouTube, is that I'm trying to, yes, as in, then when she was like, people hate you, whatever, I was like, sweetie, I don't care. People hate me. Sometimes people love me as long as they're watching Moya, my podcast. You understand? Let me come to your thingy. Okay. How was saying, I didn't see the interview. I'll check it out. Please do. I did it a few days ago. Okay. I'm trying to find... because you guys are chatty there. Yeah, all what you're saying, play us like pawns in a chessboard. They are playing, dude. They know. They go, okay, let's put Pinyol here. Okay, put Anele here. Okay, good. Let's put black coffee. It's time to do PR for black coffee. Let's get them things. That's all the white people are doing. And they think we can't see us, but some of us, we can see them. Okay, based on true stories, and Anthony are chatting away there. And then based on true stories, saying there's no such thing as publicity. She promoted Moya by mentioning the Xhosa history episode. Yeah, bro. Yes, she did. Because I mean, now the energy is tense. And now my ancestors are sitting on her here. Now she has to mention my podcast. And I'm like, yeah. You're going to talk about Moya. And you know what? Thank you. So when I spoke to my mom, my mom cool. She is my mom. Because I phoned Mom Kulu. I was like, yo, Mom Kulu, they just put me on this platform. Then she was like, oh, we are thankful. So they put you on a platform so you could shine. So that they put you with weaker people. That's wonderful. Thank you, Siabong. And it's true. That's exactly what happened. This weekend, people were like, yeah, Nziki is the only one that spoke sense. So thank you. It's insulting. You're comparing me to grade ones, but thank you. At least I got my clips of me saying some really clever shit. And those clips can be used by history when we come back to this time, when people were still saying that because when they get out of the township, then all black people are free. Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck the special blacks. Yeah, there you see, Will is even shocked. Will is even saying, when he said we should move on and then forget about history. Did you see my face in that moment? I even did a little clip. I'm going to post it on there. Okay, yeah. I'm going to post it on my community page because I usually post for my weekend and stuff. Where you can see I tried to be present, then you just see me check out and say, this is some stupid shit. This is like, you know, when people were phoning me and they were like, what were you going to discuss with Lasizwe? They were like, what did Newsroom think you were going to discuss with Lasizwe? Let's think about it. His own big sister is younger than me. Even, I'm sorry, with all due respect, like, and I know because they speak good English, it seems as if, but for me, I'm just like, no. You guys give people who speak good English free passes, and it's a no for me. It's a no for me. How far are you from their offices? Did they offer anything after the skit? Of course not. And you know how I know it's deliberate? Is that when I'm going on social media bitching, is when a producer should have sent an email and said, we apologize that you had such an unpleasant experience with us at our studios. That is not our intention. Please accept our apologies, all of that you felt like that from our experience. But no, they're not doing that. They're quiet. That's what I'm saying, guys. Don't be stupid. The whites are using us. It's deliberate. And don't worry, I won't go to any more of the white platforms, guys. Because I'm okay. You know? I'm okay. Right? Will is saying, I thought maybe we'd have a perspective on LGBT issues or racial issues. Nothing. Right? Lasizwe missed an opportunity to be like, okay, you know, as the queer community, human rights mean this to us. But he made it about, no, Nziki is wrong. I disagree with Nziki. No cold drink, no tea, nothing. No water, no nothing. Oh, Kana, okay, there was water inside the studio, Kana, ne? Okay. Kanya says, the meaning, he said, maybe he says the moment. He said, I'm listening to Nziki and thinking, what is she saying? Ha, daqonda ba uyisusile. Oh, daqonda ba uyisusile. Kwavele kwanyiwa ke ngoku one time. You know, Lasizwe is young enough to be my child, first of all. And when he spoke like that, I was like, But then the thing is that I've never really rated him. You know, as Puanga, we're not given everybody, and in Puanga, and Zangi Pure. So when he was speaking, I would just switch off because he's got no manners, he's rude, he's arrogant, he's got a very inflated ego. So there's nothing, you understand? I'm not good with ego. I'm not good with people that have got ego, generally. So even with people our own age, if someone's got an ego, I find a way to kind of excuse myself because, you understand? Asoze ndiphinde ndiye kuthiwa ndingaphinde ndiye, guys. Asoze because I really don't. But the thing is that it was good for Moya pushed up some numbers a bit. So I was like, it achieved my objective there. So we leave it at that. Melo Ashes says, we need a fundraising petition for Bantu Broadcasting TV or something. That's exactly what I was thinking too. I was like, okay, ngiyayibona le YouTube because it's also censoring me. You know, the one guest we once had, Ronald Dalton, has got a website. And I should consider just creating content there and getting paid there because he's not going to censor me. But then if he's got it like that, why don't I create my own secure website and do it on myself? You see? So I don't know, guys. There's a lot to think about. Even today, I'm stressed because the studio I work at, they made me pay a rescheduling fee, but I feel like I'm always in studio and I'm always giving them money. And I'm like, I understand that you've got rules and you've got... But if somebody comes at you once a month, yeah, then you can have a rescheduling fee. But if somebody is like giving you so much every single week, something's got to give, man. So I've got a lot of thinking to do. I need to get my own equipment and maybe just go fully independent. Because you can't be giving someone money all the time and then when, you know, then you still got to pay extra. It's just, it didn't feel right. And I'm sure on their side, they feel like, no, it's also our time. We would have we would have got someone else. But I'm like, yo, that someone else probably would have been me, the way I book studio time here. So, yeah, I kind of feel like it didn't feel right. So when things don't feel right, it means it's time for me to kind of figure out new ways around things. Because it's supposed to feel good for everybody. And if I'm feeling strain on my side, it means it means it's a no. It means it's a no. What were you joking about? I see you saying you were joking, but I don't know what you're joking about there. But yeah, so I can't believe I survived MAMIYA Mondays in such a bad space. Please pray for me, guys. I'm going to go light candles now, burn some pepper, because I'm going through some shit personally. There's some shit I'm going through. And it's traumatizing me. And then I have to pay extras at studio, and I'm just like, Then the government is not looking after creatives. We've got a minister of arts and culture who doesn't know what the fuck's going on, who is friends with the people that are exploiting us. You know, it's a hard, dark life for us. Diagowisha, guys, Diagowisha. You know, is there any feedback? Oh, you're saying you're joking about me not going back. You handled it very well. If the chances arise, you got to go back. All right, fine, guys. That's the thing. The thing is that they don't realize that they're dealing with a much more mature Nziki. Nziki's grown, man, guys. Nziki's turning 44 in September. There's certain things that Nziki just doesn't do anymore. Like, I don't do drama. I don't do tantrums. I don't do fighting. I calmly go, I don't like this that's going down here, and I gotta be out now. That's who I am now. I just don't want drama. I don't want to be shaken up. I want silence in my world. I want to focus on shooting Moya and just giving people good content. That is my only focus. So, any feedback on the episodes? Do you know I still haven't watched the JJ Class episode properly? Because I always just watch so that I can title. But then I like to watch with you guys on the day of the... So weird. I just like to watch with you guys. But now I need to watch it so that I can do the clips and drop clips. Guys, I'm so exhausted. I do everything for Moya, you know. I'm so exhausted. I want to do all the marketing. I want to do all the planning. I want to do all this. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it just doesn't stop. It just keeps going. But it's okay. Okay, Anya Star is saying, so many kids are running good quality podcasts from their sitting rooms. You just need good lighting and good quality camera. Surely there are some guys, maybe on Twitter, who can assist. Please ask. You're right, hey? Oh, guys, I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be. It's literally like that. You're like my life. You're my oxygen. Yeah, I'm going to have to just... I'm going to get my cameras and my lights. I think you're right, guys. I think I'm going to have to pull away from just giving away my money. I swear, when I was made to pay the reschedule fee, I was like, okay. Because I was like, I'm not canceling, guys. And I'm here every single week. I'm here. Then I was like, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. Let me get my camera and my lights. And let's do this. It's just that I had guests, so I didn't want people to come to my house. But what I can do is just get a hotel. It's actually not that hard. And there's lots of places that would love for me to promote their hotels. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Melo Ash is saying the couch behind her is also good setup. You hear that, couch? They like you, boo. They like you. Always just saying the episodes have really made us intellectually grown. I know, right? I know, right? Do you know that sometimes, like, I'll be sitting and talking, someone will ask me something, then I'll be like, ah. Then I'm like, fuck, I'm so clever. Then I realize it's just from Moya. I'm just regurgitating what I heard from Gok Banban. So I actually know what you're talking about. That's why I'm always like, shit, if the black child in South Africa could just, if someone could just tip them and say, go to Moya, go watch Moya. It's that simple. But because they hate Ntikimazwai, they think they hate Ntikimazwai, they taking the time basaswenga, and the thing is that we're getting so smart here. I'm just like, all you need to do is watch Moya. Uzozibona sokhuluma enye. Sokhuluma bono. The salt's gonna make it alkaline. The reason we use it is because, but they don't know. Anya Star says, even marketing and advertising, there might be young kids on Twitter who can assist, remotely even. Maybe people do it. The young people on Twitter charged me 4K to make my trend for one day. It doesn't really seem like a good deal. I want them to be posting about it a lot, not just for one day trend, you know? Based on true story saying, especially the one with Charles Ndabeli. That was a hot one, eh? Don't worry, I'm setting up another one. He is ready to come back. I'm just busy sorting out this camera thing because I'm just like, yo, I can't keep going to pay a studio, especially if I have to pay. I'm a reschedule. I can't. Oh, Katie is coming here with Nyols. Actually, I'm his type. Katie, I'm in my fucking pajamas. I'm looking skank. I'm fucking depressed. If there was infrared here and you could see my heart, you would see that it's sad, 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 sad today. My heart is so sad. Yo, my heart is sad today. Yo, shit. But, whew, damn, like I said, Mondays are my day off. After MAMIYA Mondays, I'm just gonna go and just burn pepper, burn things that make me feel good. Take a nice salt, don, listen to good music, just lift the vibration, guys. My heart is sore. As I said earlier on, there's something in my personal life. And I'm like, can't breathe. I'm not coping. My heart is sad. I need my mommy back. I need my mommy to come down from heaven to just come and sort this out quickly. I'm dying. My heart is sad. Let me see your comments. Kha was saying, the guests you're having on your podcast have so much knowledge and that's needed to be passed on to another generation through podcast Moya. That's exactly what I was trying to do. Because Moya is not about me. It's not a thing of... It's not about me, guys. It's not about me. It's about passing on the information. It's about what the white schools are doing, brainwashing the kids, and we quickly need to fix it, guys. We quickly need to fix it. It's not about me. Fuck. I get so emotional about it because I'm just like, fuck. Please support this thing because it's not about me. It's for your children. It's for your great-grandchildren. It's for children in 500 years' time to know. Because Abedung are winning, guys. We're being erased. Right now, there's no footage. There's no information on Mangaliso Sobukwe because of white people erasing it. And that's what they're doing with our history. So without Moya, our shit is being erased. Yo, What's the latest on the traditional leadership going to Latuli House? You know, they went, let me ask, I'm going to reach out to Thabo Moloi. Maybe we can have a live stream with him. But I know that they went on, it was when I went to PE. It was last week, Tuesday. I'm going to follow up on that and follow and let you know, but it's building up. And what the traditional leaders need from us is energy now. Exactly what you're doing there. When you're like, okay, what's the latest? It's time for me to also be loud. And you guys to also be loud and be like, right. Because the elections are coming, guys. Let's shift things. Let's shift things. Let's make sure things shift. It was so hilarious seeing MK with the Afrikaners. Because this is like, guys. Like, power is being taken away from ANC and it's happening. And we need to position ourselves and see where we're going, who we want to be led by. You see, they're running away from Moya political theories now because it's exposing them. Ngos Tandega saying you did great to Newsroom Africa interview. Although we're complaining about it, but thank you. Yo, that one, it just bored me because it's young Delelisa. Because there was even, I was getting voice notes from people who are being fake deep with me, telling me that there's rooms I mustn't put myself in. I'm just, just shut up, man. I'm just like, just shut up. Focus on your own journey. I'm good. Because so young Drayela, mind you, if you think that I have not thought about any of this. So I've had to deal with people who want to come and correct me. You know, I'm just so bored. But yeah, it did what it had to do. Hey, Mato. I'm the realest motherfucker in the planet. Ooh. Yeah. Jigga. Guys, it's 11 o'clock. It's time for me to sign out. It's time for me to go and just. But please, can you send some good vibrations my way? I need them. Dakowisha. There's so much on my plate. I don't even know what the hell. I don't know where to start. You know, even the Moya conference, I'm trying to sort that out too. Then I'm being made to pay rescheduled fees. That really stressed me. Because I was like, nah, guys. You're not doing this right. Anyways. Tinghambe, guys. Nyanthanda nonke emakhaya. What's that last comment? Take care of your heart, sis. Love you always. Not only good vibrations, but positive vibrations. 432, baby. Send me some 432. Send me some 432, baby. Please.